There is a video going around right now where it appears that somebody was saying that David and them unalive somebody, and it sounds like they're talking about Celeste Rivas Hernandez.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like D4VD and his legal team are locked in for the long run now. I really thought they might back out at some point, but nope, they're still standing strong, and it's getting way more serious by the day. From the outside, it already looks like the legal chess moves have officially started. And what does that mean exactly? We see this happen all the time in major cases. Delay after delay, pushing dates back, searching for loopholes, and testing every angle possible to help their client out. That's basically the game plan right now. There was a court hearing with David recently, and during the talks with the attorneys, more details started slipping out about what could happen next. People are now getting a clearer picture of where this whole thing may be heading. They officially pushed his preliminary hearing back to June 29th, which honestly doesn't surprise anybody at this point. But here's the part catching attention. They're also moving extremely slow when it comes to the evidence transfer. Apparently, there are major problems moving around those 40 terabytes of data between both sides, and critics are already side-eyeing the situation like this could be another strategy to stretch the timeline out even longer. So honestly, nobody really knows when this trial is finally going to happen because everything keeps getting dragged out. It definitely feels like there's a whole smoke and mirrors strategy happening behind the scenes right now, with delays and distractions everywhere. But anyway, I want to show you a few courtroom sketches of David so you can get an idea of what people inside the hearing were seeing over the past couple of weeks. On top of that, I also came across something from one of David's live streams where he appeared to make comments about Celeste Rivas's death. Now, whether he was being serious or joking around, that's still up for debate, and people online have been going back and forth about it ever since. Let's take a look at everything. Sadly, this case has become so huge and high profile that the judge reportedly decided there won't be any cameras allowed during the hearings. A lot of people were hoping for live footage, but for now, that's completely off the table. Maybe the rules change later, maybe they don't. Nobody knows yet. What we do have, though, are courtroom sketches and reports from journalists who were actually sitting inside the room during the hearing. So let's see what they had to say, because some of these details are definitely getting attention. The article headline says, "Chilled out during court hearing as legal drama builds." That title alone already had people talking online. The report quickly describes David's behavior in court, saying, David looked more like he was waiting on a delayed flight than fighting a criminal case Tuesday morning, casually slumping in his chair during the court hearing while his lawyers and prosecutors deliberated over the case's timeline. That description instantly sparked reactions because people expected somebody in that situation to look way more tense and stressed. The artist, born David Burke, showed up in downtown Los Angeles for a status conference connected to his upcoming preliminary hearing, reportedly wearing an orange jail jumpsuit and looking surprisingly calm the entire time. That detail instantly caught people's attention because most expected somebody in that position to look nervous or completely stressed out. Instead, reports described him as unusually relaxed during the proceedings, and online reactions started going crazy after that description dropped. Now people are trying to figure out why he looks so calm in court. Some think he may already understand how serious the situation has become and could simply be mentally preparing himself for whatever happens next. Others believe he's just trying not to show emotion publicly while cameras and media attention keep growing around the case. Either way, his courtroom appearance definitely sparked a ton of conversation online. TMZ also shared a few courtroom sketch collages, and viewers immediately started noticing changes in his appearance. A lot of people pointed out that it looked like he got a fresh haircut before the hearing. The sketches on the right side were reportedly the more updated versions of David, and people online quickly started comparing them to older images that had been circulating before. There was also discussion surrounding his facial hair and overall appearance because, according to reports and online chatter, he had previously complained about looking rough or unkempt. Some people believe he wanted to appear more polished and presentable in front of the judge during the hearing, which only added more reactions across social media. At the same time, commenters online have continued debating different parts of his background and upbringing, with many throwing out their own theories about his personality and behavior throughout this case. I was homeschooled for a few years myself, and honestly, I felt super awkward back then. Once I finally got thrown into high school, though, I slowly adjusted and figured things out socially. So when people online start debating homeschooling and personality traits, everybody has their own opinions and experiences with that stuff. Either way, the internet has definitely been running wild with theories while reacting to this whole situation. But anyway, let me show you another courtroom sketch because this one also started making rounds online. David is just sitting there, looking completely calm in front of the judge, almost like he's trying to stay unbothered while all this chaos keeps building around him. And honestly, people were giving credit to the sketch artist too, because the details in these drawings really caught attention across social media. Now, continuing with the article, TMZ reported, a sketch shows him entering the courtroom in restraints as he faces first-degree murder and mutilation charges tied to the death of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez, whose dismembered remains were found inside a Tesla registered to the singer last year. He has pleaded not guilty to all charges after his April arrest. The article also says, inside the courtroom, the two sides sparred over discovery and the pace of evidence turnover ahead of the next phase of the case that now will roll on to next month. And honestly, a lot of people watching this case believe the delays are far from over. With all the arguments about evidence, scheduling, and massive amounts of data being exchanged, many expect this legal battle to keep stretching out for months before any major developments finally happen. If David's legal team truly wants the strongest defense possible, a lot of people believe they'll keep trying to push this case farther and farther down the road. Delays, scheduling battles, and endless legal motions are all common in major cases like this. The big difference here, though, is that David is still behind bars while all of this plays out, which completely changes the pressure on both sides. When a client is in custody, the timeline can feel way more intense because every delay means more time sitting in jail awaiting trial. Still, defense teams often take as much time as they legally can, especially when there's a huge amount of evidence involved. That's just how these courtroom battles usually work. According to reports, the recent hearing mostly focused on scheduling issues and whether both sides would be ready for the preliminary hearing, which is currently set for June 29th. The court also scheduled another status hearing for June 17th, while the judge reportedly confirmed the court would continue staying active throughout the process. So even though things may look slow from the outside, there's clearly a lot happening behind the scenes as attorneys continue arguing over timelines, evidence, and preparation. Meanwhile, people inside the courtroom noted that D4VD remained mostly silent during the hearing. Reports described him leaning back low in his chair instead of sitting upright at the defense table, which instantly became another talking point online. Some viewers believe the pressure of the case is slowly starting to show more over time, especially compared to how people first viewed him publicly before all this legal drama exploded into the spotlight. Before all of this happened, a lot of people online saw him as the flashy, confident guy with the glasses and signature look always popping up on social media. But as this case keeps unfolding, many viewers think that public image is slowly starting to change in a major way. The pressure, the court appearances, and all the non-stop attention seem to be shifting how people view him as time goes on. But anyway, before moving forward, I wanted to point out another courtroom image because people online have really been reacting to this one. You can clearly see what reporters meant when they described him sitting extremely low in his chair during the hearing. The attorneys beside him are sitting upright and focused, while David noticeably appears slouched down much lower at the defense table. That detail immediately became a huge discussion online because people started analyzing his body language and what it might say about his mindset during the proceedings. And honestly, whenever someone is held in custody during a high-profile case, people naturally speculate about the stress and pressure happening behind the scenes. Jail conditions, constant scrutiny, and the emotional weight of a major criminal case can clearly affect someone over time. A lot of online commentary has focused on whether that pressure is beginning to show publicly during these hearings. Now moving forward, investigator Steve Fisher reportedly uncovered even more information connected to the case. According to reports, he was able to piece together a timeline involving photos that surfaced showing David and Celeste together in downtown Los Angeles. That instantly sparked another wave of online discussion. especially from locals who were shocked hearing that parts of the investigation were connected to familiar areas around the city. So let me read this part real quick because this added even more attention to the case online. Private investigator Steve Fisher, the same investigator who had previously looked into David's former home and other related locations, posted a statement on X that immediately started spreading everywhere. He wrote, "On the night of December 30th through the morning of December 31st, 2024, David and Celeste were together in downtown Los Angeles, where several photos were taken in public." He continued by saying, Celeste was 14 years old at the time and about 17 miles from her home in Lake Elsinore. Whether she was sober that night is open to interpretation. That statement alone triggered a massive wave of reactions online, with people debating the timeline, the circumstances, and who may have witnessed them together during that period. A lot of critics have also questioned why someone with growing public attention would allegedly place themselves in situations that could attract so much visibility and scrutiny. According to discussions online, people are especially shocked by claims that they were reportedly out in public areas around downtown Los Angeles where others could easily recognize or photograph them. That detail has become a major focus in conversations surrounding the case. And apparently, the situation may go even deeper because reports now suggest there could have been additional people nearby during some of those moments. There are even claims that a camera crew may have crossed paths with David and Celeste while they were out downtown, which has only increased speculation about what evidence or footage could potentially surface later as the investigation continues. Let's keep going because this next part added even more questions to the timeline. The post says, there is photo evidence of them together again on January 2nd, 2025. Then, on January 8th, a sizable crew was filming a music video with D4VD out of state. And by January 11th, David is in his hometown in Texas. On January 20th, 2025, he is on a Delta flight. Then the post raises a series of questions that immediately got people online talking. It asks, so the question is, where was Celeste between January 3rd and January 20th, 2025? Can anyone account for her during that time? There were many people present at the music video shoot. Did anyone see her there? What about in his hometown in Texas? Does anyone have proof of life for Celeste Rivas Hernandez after January 2nd, 2025? A lot of people believe Steve Fisher was trying to suggest that David and Celeste may have spent far more time together than the public originally realized. According to online discussions surrounding the timeline, some people speculate she may have traveled with him to multiple locations, including downtown Los Angeles, possible music video shoots, and even Texas. However, those claims remain part of ongoing public speculation, and not every detail has been officially confirmed. Steve Fisher also reportedly shared several images connected to the timeline. One of the photos was labeled December 30th, 2024, and appeared to show Celeste during that period. As these images continue circulating online, people have been closely examining every date, location, and detail in an attempt to piece together a clearer timeline of events surrounding the case. You can tell the images had that very stylized, artsy look to them, warped visuals, dramatic edits, and that dark aesthetic people often associated with David's online content. One image that really caught attention showed David holding a knife, which instantly sparked a ton of reactions online because people started connecting it to details already discussed in the case. Viewers pointed out the black nail polish and other recognizable features, saying it clearly appeared to be him in the photo. Now, one thing that's important to clarify is that earlier reports and online discussions may have mixed up certain details about the weapons involved. Based on what's publicly been discussed so far, investigators reportedly referenced injuries involving sharp force trauma, but many specifics surrounding the exact weapon or circumstances have not been fully confirmed publicly. Because of that, people online have been heavily speculating while trying to compare photos, timelines, and evidence connected to the investigation. At the same time, critics have questioned why certain images were being posted publicly at all, especially considering how much attention was already surrounding David during that period. Some online users described the post as strange or unsettling in hindsight, while others argued people may now be interpreting older content differently because of the criminal allegations connected to the case. Then there's the music video shoot that Steve Fisher reportedly discussed online. According to his claims, Celeste may have been present during parts of the production, which immediately raised even more questions from people following the story. Online commenters started asking how large groups of adults, production staff, camera operators, and others allegedly around the set may or may not have noticed who was present during filming. Those discussions have become another major focus as internet investigators continue trying to piece together the timeline and circumstances surrounding the case. There was also another image floating around online that people were trying to figure out. From the way it looked, some viewers believed it may have been connected to the music video production as well. A lot of people speculated the crew could have been waiting for nighttime shots to capture a certain visual style or aesthetic for the project.
There is a video going around right now where it appears that somebody was saying that David and them unalived somebody, and it sounds like they're talking about Celeste Rivas Hernandez.
Nothing about it was fully clear, but the image definitely added another layer to the timeline discussions happening online. The reason all of this matters is because many internet investigators and commentators have been arguing that more people may have been aware of David spending time with Celeste than originally believed.
Where we also see David saying that his bathroom smells and Neo looks really weird when David says this.
Based on the claims and photos circulating online, some people think multiple individuals may have crossed paths with them together at different locations and events. That idea has become a major talking point as more clips, photos, and stories continue surfacing across social media platforms. Now shifting back to David's house, there's another live stream clip that has been getting attention online. In the footage, several people are reportedly hanging around inside the mansion, including friends and other guests.
This part was odd because prosecutors said in their brief that David lied to his friends, business associates, etc. about the bad smell that was around his house and his Tesla.
Parts of this stream had already circulated before, but some sections were less widely discussed until recently. According to online discussions surrounding the clip, David was allegedly telling guests to avoid using a certain bathroom inside the house because it was messy and had a strong odor. That moment has since been re-examined by viewers after later developments in the case, with many people now revisiting older live stream footage and trying to analyze interactions, comments, and behavior that previously didn't attract much attention at the time. The clip gets even stranger from there because viewers later found another angle showing the girls heading toward that specific bathroom David mentioned earlier. While that's happening, people online notice background audio where David appears to be speaking with someone else off camera. After the clip started spreading, internet investigators and social media users began isolating and enhancing the audio to try to figure out exactly what was being said. According to some people analyzing the footage, the enhanced audio allegedly sounds like David says, "Yeah, you know, I killed Celeste. We killed her." Others online strongly disagree and argue the audio is too unclear to make out with certainty. Because the recording quality is rough and heavily debated, there's been nonstop argument across social media about whether people are hearing real words or simply interpreting unclear background noise differently. The clip also reportedly includes laughter between David and another person in the room, which only intensified reactions online once the subtitles and enhanced versions started circulating. Since then, countless users have been replaying the footage, slowing it down, and comparing different audio edits trying to decide for themselves what was actually said in that moment. So instead of spoiling the entire thing up front, it's better to let viewers watch the clip themselves and form their own opinions. Listen closely, pay attention to the subtitles, and try to hear the background conversation as clearly as possible. Because this is one of those moments where everybody online seems to be hearing something completely different.
It's kind of giving Harley Quinn. Okay. Aw, cute. I like it. And then, wait, what is it?
Want to know something wild? People online started replaying this live stream clip over and over because they believed they heard something disturbing in the background conversation. Others said the audio was too messy to fully understand, but the speculation exploded fast. Once subtitles and enhanced versions started circulating everywhere, the moment instantly became one of the most debated parts of the entire case.
Okay, clear.
The biggest thing I took from that clip was the clearest part of the audio people were able to make out. From what viewers are saying, Neo appeared to be talking to another girl, and apparently there may have been a different girl named Celeste involved in the conversation too. So it sounds like they were discussing one girl while speaking to another girl, which made the whole exchange even more confusing. At one point, Neo allegedly says, "Yeah, me and David killed her." Then something else is said right after, and the girl responds like, "Oh, what did she look like? I really want to know what she looked like." After that, Neo allegedly says, "Oh, she had like curly hair." That part had people online completely locked in because the wording sounded strange, even if the full context is still unclear. Now, obviously, most people would not openly admit to something serious in a casual live stream. But some viewers think they may have been joking in a way that sounded way too suspicious later on. It almost feels like when somebody gets caught doing something wrong and tries to be overly sarcastic so nobody takes it seriously. That's why people keep replaying this clip, slowing it down, and arguing over what was really being said. Let's run it back one more time and break it down step by step. The girl then appears to say, "Tell me more about," and the subtitles label the next word as Celeste. Now, some people online say they can hear the name clearly, while others argue the audio is way too distorted to fully confirm it. That's become another huge debate surrounding the clip because everybody seems to be hearing something slightly different once the audio gets enhanced and replayed over and over again. Anyway, let's keep this moving because the conversation gets even stranger from here. Then the girl responds with something that sounds like, "Yeah, you killed her," which instantly made people online stop and replay the clip again. Right after that, Neo appears to respond with, "Yeah, me and David." That exchange became one of the biggest talking points surrounding the live stream because viewers started debating whether the comments were serious, sarcastic, completely misunderstood, or just impossible to fully hear correctly due to the audio quality. Some people believe the subtitles line up with what's being said, while others argue everyone may be reading too much into distorted background noise. Either way, the clip exploded across social media because the timing and wording sounded unsettling enough to keep fueling more speculation and non-stop discussion online. That whole exchange definitely struck a lot of viewers as strange. Some people are convinced the audio clearly sounds like, "Yeah, we killed her," while others believe the clip is too distorted to confidently say that's what was actually said. The debate has gotten huge online because everyone keeps replaying the moment and coming away with different interpretations depending on the subtitles, edits, and audio enhancements they're watching. One thing that keeps coming up, though, is how many people allegedly seemed aware that David and Celeste knew each other. That's become a major discussion point as more clips, live streams, and old social media interactions continue resurfacing online. A lot of creators and internet personalities who were once connected to David are now publicly distancing themselves, and viewers have started questioning who knew what during that time period. For example, some streamers and online figures who reportedly interacted with David in the past are now speaking out or making comments suggesting they had concerns about him. Critics online have reacted strongly to that, with many accusing influencers of trying to rewrite history after the case exploded publicly. Others argue people may simply be responding differently now that serious allegations and investigations are involved. Either way, the internet has started heavily scrutinizing old friendships, collaborations, and live stream clips connected to David, with viewers trying to piece together how much people around him may have noticed at the time. And now, another video is circulating that's adding even more fuel to those conversations online. Man, every day it feels like another internet personality or former acquaintance suddenly pops up acting completely shocked about the situation. Online reactions have been ruthless too, with people calling out creators they believe were around David during parties, video shoots, live streams, and hangouts long before everything exploded publicly. Now everybody's trying to distance themselves and act like they never saw anything suspicious, and a lot of viewers are seriously not buying it. To be fair, nobody knows exactly what different people may or may not have known at the time. But critics online keep pointing to old collaborations, appearances, and social circles, while questioning how much people around David were aware of behind the scenes. That's become a huge part of the internet conversation lately, especially as more clips and photos continue resurfacing across social media platforms. At the same time, attention is now shifting heavily toward the legal side of the case because many people expect the defense team to keep fighting aggressively moving forward. Reports already suggest there could be more delays, scheduling battles, and evidence disputes ahead, especially considering how massive the case has become online. And one thing almost everyone agrees on is that David appears to have a very experienced legal team backing him right now. So at this stage, people are really watching to see how long this legal fight stretches out and what new information could surface as the case continues developing over the coming months. The internet is clearly locked into every update, and the speculation around this situation doesn't seem to be slowing down anytime soon.